Welcome back to the Motion Podcast. Today we're talking about how progress isn't always linear, how it can be messy, and our experience with dealing with progress and starting motion.
So today what you'll learn about is all the failures that have gone into this new drop and how our progress has been with motion and how messy it actually has been from the inside. Because from the outside it looks like everything just runs smoothly when it doesn't. This shit can be up and down, and that is what progress is like, and that's what we will discuss today. So enjoy the episode.
Alright, so our first problem that we have run into, this is where it all started. We didn't sample.
And that was at the start of this year. So the start of this year has probably been, quite frankly, the roughest time for me and Malia.
This is the fucked month.
This has been a fucked month.
You know, it's like January 2025. It's like new me. It's like...
Fucking fucked me.
That's what Fuck me, January.
Yeah, that's basically what it's been for us. So we thought we were heroes and we got rid of our first supplier because we were like, okay, we want to go for a different type of feel. If you do buy this drop, you'll know what I mean. And if you've had the other drop, you'll see what I mean. Like the feel of the shirt is completely different. It's way, way different to pretty much anything you will feel. Not saying this to fucking try and make like our product's amazing, but essentially what we did is we went with a different manufacturer and we didn't sample. Okay, what they fucked up on is so fucking simple, but this is why progress isn't always linear, because you will learn of failures, and failures is what pretty much leads to progress. And that is why progress is not linear, because we decided we weren't going to sample. The shirts, they came in, they were fine. Me and you.
I didn't want to do it. I wanted to sample. And you were like, no, we have to get this out before January. And now we're a whole month.
No, it was meant to be the end of January. Okay, so we are 3 days away, but yeah. Okay, so pretty much we're going to explain to you what happened. So we went with a new manufacturer to try and get this different feel, which we achieved on all of our shit, which I'm happy with. But with the singlets, they decided to put a fucking seam down the middle of the back of the singlet. Fuck knows why the fuck they did that. I don't know why they did that, because they did not like portray this to us when we were talking to them. We sent the designs.
Even in the photo, there was no like
no seam.
Line.
So a seam is like, for you that don't know, it's basically what attaches your shirt together. So it'll be like, you know, at the end of your shirt, how you have like that stitching. That's essentially what it is, or on the end of your sleeves.
If you're watching this on YouTube, it's basically that line.
Yeah, it's just the stitching.
But it's on the middle of the back of the shirt.
Yeah, so right down the middle of the back of the shirt. So they decided to, for some fucking reason, whoever the fuck invented that, they did that. I don't know why they did that. That would actually cost them more money now, because that shirt is now a 3-panel shirt instead of a fucking 2-panel, which is just back and front stitched together. Usually the stitches are on the sleeves, on the collarbone up top, which were there, and then they decided to put a seam down the middle of the back. I don't know why. But anyways, this is why you've got to plan to fail, which we didn't do. We just planned for everything to go amazing. If you don't plan to fail, in other words, like give yourself time to fail, to learn from the failures, to not let it affect what you're doing, shit will happen when you're running a business. So basically we ordered them, they came in, they were fucked. We were like, what the fuck? How do you send this off to someone? Because I'm like, we could probably still sell some of them. They honestly look fine from like a bit of like
from a distance.
Not even from a distance, like fucking 2 meters away. They're not even like a meter away. They still look perfectly fine. But I'm not going to sell them because I noticed what's wrong with them.
Yeah, but the ink is like dripping.
Yeah, well, because
into the shirt.
What happens is they press down the ink, like they have like a machine and it presses down onto the shirt, which I can imagine you're visualizing right now. And with the seam in the middle of the shirt, it now creates like almost like a little hill in the middle of the shirt.
This.
Like a little hill. And then they press down on the shirt, and now it's become uneven because the hill and then the shirt, the seam has like fucked up the print. So the shirt, actually the singlet itself is fine, but the print's fucked. So yeah, mistake number 1, that happened as soon as we got it in. So we were like, okay, fuck. Now, after that, we had problem number 2. We ran into a second problem now. We had to return all of the stock back to the supplier. So I'll let Malia explain this amazing part. This was straight after what just fucked up, but I'll let Malia explain.
Okay, so we went to go send the singlets back, and we had to pay double what we paid for this fucking
So pretty much what we
singlets.
had to do is we had to send them back. And he wouldn't take, what he wanted to do to save his business is essentially do a return refund thing. And when you do a return refund, they will not make your new products until you pay them for the new products. So I had to now fork out money to pay for essentially a double up because they fucked up. I had to pay again for the singlets for them to start making the singlets now. And then I had to do a refund return to send it out to them, which I will not get the money in my account until it gets to them.
Have you even got the money back?
No, still not got
that's
the money.
fucked.
So we're down like, and that's what it is with clothing. When you do clothing, it's like a gamble essentially. You put money into something, you lose like say this X amount of money, and until you make the sale or until you go live, you are now down in money in inventory essentially. But I'll let Malia explain technically problem number 3 with the shipping because
So he tells me to meet him at the post office because apparently they won't fucking ship the clothes out because the weight has to be 20 kilos and it was 19.
No, it was 20 kilos. So it was
20.9.
Yeah, so
and
900
they wouldn't
grams.
ship it because it was 900 grams over.
Yeah.
So we had to get a whole different box and separate both boxes evenly so they could ship out our things, and we had no label. So we had to wait for the labels to come in so we could ship them out.
Like this shipping label, you know that label you get, like say like if you buy from us, you'll get like a note on it saying like...
Or if you buy a package and it's got like that label on it, they've had to print that out so they can send it to you. So we had no label to send them out to. So we had to wait for our supplier to pay for our shipping so we could send it back to him basically.
And pay for another label because they wouldn't take it. And then I go there, right? I go there again for the fucking second time. And then they wouldn't take it again because the boxes aren't the exact same.
Yeah.
Mate, like what the fuck? They were the same weight, but because I had a different sized box, they paid for like a size like, I don't know, bigger. They were like, oh, we can't take this. It has to be the exact same size box. And I was like, what, cunt? What the fuck? So I had to call Malia to now empty all of the shirts and all of the other stock out of another box.
Oh, and the box was missing a flap.
Okay, yeah. But essentially when we got the order, we got like a couple boxes and off the supplier. And they're all the same boxes, right? Because again, they had to ship the same boxes. I obviously took all the inventory out of one box and then put it all in the first time. Now that's 900 grams too fucking heavy apparently. So now I can't do it. Now I have to go back. I go back, I get the label 5 days later. I go back to the fucking post office with a different size box and then the original box, both split up with the singlets split up like blacks and whites in both the singlets, in both the boxes. Go to do it. Oh no, the box isn't the same size, so we can't take it. So I'm like, all right, so I had to call Malia. She's fucking working. But you're going to have to go to my house, empty a whole nother box full of the shirts, then come here with an empty fucking box to now make sure it's the exact same size box as the original one that we're shipping out. I hope this makes sense. To now send out. So that is essentially what we've had to go through with this, right? And this is what I'm trying to explain to you. Like progress isn't linear because off this experience, now we've learned 2 things. Fucking sample your clothes. Don't be a dumb fucking cunt thinking you're some hero that... You pretty much need to sample your clothes. It doesn't matter if you trust your supplier or not. You need to do it because it's not your supplier making the clothes. It's the workers. Right? So they can fuck up because our supplier didn't fuck up. Like the guy that we deal with, it was the workers that fucked up. He didn't even know that the singlets happened like that. He didn't even know they had a seam on them. But you need to sample because unexpected shit like this will happen. So that, again, now that is progress because we now know that and we know how to deal with that when shit goes wrong.
So now we're like, okay, it's happened before, what we can do.
Yeah.
What can we do? Okay.
Not only just sampling, but it's almost like if that happens again, it won't be as bad.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because we're like, oh, okay, this has happened before. That's fine. We can deal with it. So it will be okay. And that is an example of what progress looks like from the inside. Now thinking like, I don't know, in a year, it's probably going to happen more times, but I guarantee our workflow will be so much better than it is now when it comes to all that stuff. It will be so much more cleaner. Everyone might look at it and be like, damn, they've got it all figured out, but that's what you have to go through to actually figure shit like that out. And that's, everyone's like sample, sample, sample. Okay, mate, we understand what you're saying, but this is fucking singlets and shirts with simple designs. It's not like we're doing crazy shit.
Yeah, no shit.
They do this for a fucking living. There's no way that they fuck that up. I understand if there's a miscommunication with a color or something and it's your fault, but theoretically this isn't really our fault. We just didn't plan to fail. We planned for everything to go perfectly fine.
Yeah, and really just were like, what the fuck?
So that was roadblock number 1. That was pretty much majority of January.
What was the second thing we learnt?
Ad campaign.
You said there were 2 things from this that we learnt.
Yeah, so we learned that number 1, you need a sample, not be big ego. Number 2, you have to plan ahead. You have to be ahead. Like I'm talking ahead as in months ahead, because now this is, yes, we got onto it very fast and we're probably going to get the clothes very soon, and we'll be launching this shit very soon because it'll be exactly what we want and we know it will be. But you learn how to deal with it, what you need to do to make sure it doesn't happen, and for future references, like why you need to actually sample. Like it's almost like life throws shit at you to teach you, like you're not invincible. Shit's gonna happen. So it's like it drops your ego and what's it called? You got too much confidence. You think you're invincible. So it humbles you to make you realize, okay, I need a sample. Okay, I need to be ahead, and okay, I need to be organized.
Months ahead.
Yeah, so that's what we've learned off this. It's been months ahead. Now we're already sampling for the next 2 drops ahead now, because I'm like, okay, fuck, well, I'm not having the same thing happen again. So that's what progress looks like, as in from the back end side of our business. Now we move on to the second topic, which is also another fuck up again, the ad campaign. So we need to film a video campaign for obviously the clothes before we launch, which we're doing this week now. But I'll let you explain it. We originally were going to do it in an athletic stadium, and what happened?
Oh my God. So we have to do it at the athletic stadium.
Which is like a fucking...
huge stadium in Perth.
Yeah.
Which is like basically where everyone goes to do... It's like an arena basically. Like, you know, the Olympics and that track around the thing. So we wanted to do it there, but we have a drone now. We want to get some drone footage. But we don't have... Did you say that? We don't have a license for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say that?
Just say they won't allow it.
They won't allow it. How much is it to pay?
So basically we were going to go shoot and we had everything sorted out. Everything planned. Again, this is another fucking lesson. You got to plan ahead. So we get everything sorted. Everyone's ready to go. And then we call them up. I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know, I run a brand. I do this. And she's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, we're going to film there. She's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, nah, but like, I mean, like, I've actually got a team of people. It's not like a little fucking influencer shoot. Like, it's a genuine, like, I've got a team of like 3 people. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, nah, but we're using drones and stuff. Like, I'm not just like filming normal footage. Like, I was like, I run an actual clothing brand. And she's like, oh, okay. So you're going to fly a drone? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, if you want a $50,000 fine, then come down. We'll be waiting for you. And I was like...
What, is that what she said?
Essentially is what she said. Like, we'll come down. She's like, if that's what you want is a $50,000 fine. She just got like, for some reason, got real fucking shitty with me. Because I was like, the way I was saying it was like, you know...
I thought you were allowed to, but because of the fine.
No, so you need to have like some fucking weird fucking permit license thing to fly a drone there. You have to contact like the owners of the stadium and get like a written permit to say you can fly the... Fuckloads of shit. And I was like, well, okay. Now we have to figure out...
A new location.
Now swap the day to pretty much a different day. And then fuck everyone else over because now this has happened. And luckily we can still make the same day work. And we found a good track that we can do it on.
Yeah, and we found a track that's more open for free. And now it actually works out better.
Yeah,
because we can do whatever we want. And probably not a lot of people will be there. And that's like the same thing. Okay, now... it's like whatever happens, it's just redirection to where you want to go. Yeah. So it's like, okay, like we can't go to athletic stadium. What the fuck are we meant to do? We can't sit here and cry about it. What else can we do? Find another track or do a completely different shoot.
And if we had to do a whole shoot, keep in mind, me and Malia spent like 6 hours one day planning out this entire fucking shoot. So we have everything nailed in our head. Like, okay, this is how we're going to film. This is how we're going to...
Yeah,
so we need a
that,
track
to
essentially
that
make
stadium.
this work.
And yeah, so we found another track and it's going to be so much better. We can fly how we want to fly the drone.
Can we? That's taking us to the next problem. Let's take us to the next problem. Go.
What is the next problem?
Why can't we fly the drone however we want?
Because we have a permit.
No.
Oh,
what happened?
Oh, yeah. We don't have a shooter anymore.
Yeah, so we're shooting in 2 days and I shoot a pretty much like a videographer that can fly a drone. Like flying a drone for most people, it's not something you just pick up and know how to do. It's fucking hard. Like the drone's worth $3,500. Like it's not something you just like, oh, I'm just going to fly a drone. And especially to film it how I want it. It's not something that you can just do. So we had a content creator, like a videographer that I usually use. And then I call them and say like, oh yeah, like this Wednesday. I've told them for 2 weeks now. They're like, yeah, all good. And then they message me and go, oh, hey man, yeah, I can't make it on Wednesday. And I'm like, what the fuck? You can't come? And this happened on the last video campaign as well. Same thing. We got cancelled on literally 2 days before. And when I'm trying to direct a campaign, I've got 3 other videographers there trying to film with me, whether it's
trying to
Malia.
direct them as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to direct, but then I'm also being in the video.
Yeah, so you're trying to direct, be in the video, and then see if the footage is okay.
Yeah.
Plus check now if the drone footage is going to be okay.
Because now I need to teach Malia how to fly a fucking drone in 2 days. So that's going to be fun. Don't know how it's going to work, but yeah. That is another example of like another thing of like when you're trying to progress to get a video campaign out to sell some shirts or shit, again, shit's going to pop up. It's going to happen. Stuff's going to fucking get in your way. Every time you try and move and you're trying to progress in life, I'm telling you, there's going to be a fucking roadblock.
Did anything happen before our last campaign?
Yes, we had a shoot. It's just small stuff, but it builds and gets worse.
Yeah, I know.
As you try to do more and more and more and more stuff, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you sell bigger golds, bigger shit happens. The first time, okay, cool, we just had one person cancel that can't go. Then we had my videographer that couldn't go. And then we had another videographer cancel. We had 2. So then I had to essentially film with another guy called Misha. Me and him had to film the entire time. And I'm fucking directing him. And then I'm filming because I'm like, well, typically I like to film anyway, but it's hard when I'm in the video to film because now...
But you know what you want.
Yeah, but it's like we had to do a running scene with me, Portia and Elton. That took us an hour and a half because I had to now look over the footage every single time because I don't have 2 videographers.
Yeah, and I'm also driving the car.
And you're driving the car.
Yeah.
So Malia can't film.
Yeah.
And like filming, being a videographer, it's not just something you can just pick up and do. Like it actually takes... You need someone with at least like 2 years, 3 years experience to like be able to do what it is we need to do in the format that we need to do. So now we've been
like
cancelled.
I've been doing it for nearly a year and I'm only just like picking it up now. Like only
You know, over a year.
Huh?
Oh yeah. And that's with me.
Yeah.
Next to you. I've been doing it for almost 2.
Yeah.
I was next to Malia the whole time, like, yeah, do this. And she's looking at what I do, would take inspiration of what I do because I'm like right next to her all the time.
But I feel like we think the same with videos.
No, but that's what
So
I mean.
like, I'm
You're
like,
taking
yeah,
a
that's
lot
what
of
I mean.
inspiration off me, like looking at what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to take this bit off him. I don't like that. I'm not going to take that. You have someone to look at, to like learn from. For someone that doesn't have anyone to look at and learn from, like, fuck, you're looking
very
at 3
hard.
years to get
Yeah.
anywhere near the format to like now keep up with standards of social media.
Yeah.
3 years and about good $15,000, $10,000 in camera equipment to just get you in the foot in the door. That's it. So it's very hard to come across people like that. And now we've had someone that can fly my drone, knows how to use it, now say that they can't go 2 days out. So now it's like, again, we're trying to launch the video. We're trying to do something big. We're trying to make a big move. The fucking stadium we film, like, picture it all out, how we're going to do it, now cancels. Now we go to another stadium, find it. Now we just get cancelled again by another videographer that flies our drone. Now I need to teach Malia how to fly the fucking drone. 2 days to now film the video campaign how we want it. So every time you're trying to do something, there's going to be shit that happens. Progress is not fucking linear. It's messy as fuck. It's all over the place.
Yeah, but you can either take it as a learning lesson or you can either just use it to sit there and
just
be like,
go,
oh,
this is
well,
too hard.
It's too hard.
Yeah, because
I
it
give up.
happens to everyone. This shit, if you are going to run a brand, this will happen to you. Maybe not in the same way as us, but I fucking promise you.
Well, anything you do,
Yeah.
something's going to happen. It's never going to be like
And that's what I mean as well. Like the more unsafe you play it and the bigger you try go, the more shit is going to happen to you. If I go out and film with a fucking iPhone, nothing's going to happen. Everyone knows how to film with iPhone. But now I want to go out and film a fucking movie. Now shit's going to happen because I'm trying to break out of that little fucking barrier that most people sit in just using their little iPhone.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But I'm saying when you try to do and you have big goals, shit's going to happen.
But even just not business-wise as well, there's so much little shit in the background as well that's gone wrong that it's like, now that's even more stressed on top of what else is fucking going on as well.
I mean, you can touch on that if you want, but
No, I'm just saying, but like it's not just business.
yeah, personal.
Like you've still got personal shit as well. And like if that's not also good, now you've got two things that are going fucking wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So like for example, like camera wise, I did a shoot and now my whole fucking SD card corrupts.
Yeah, now you got $700 worth of camera footage that she filmed that's
It's
now
gone.
wiped. Now she has to go and refilm,
and I have to worry about this shit that we're doing as well, plus other shit. It's just like it just adds up over time.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, what needs to give right now? Like what can you learn to do something better for next time?
and like just that is the art of just not giving up. If we sat here and been like, this is too fucking hard, this is too much money, I'm not gonna do it. No, that's not what we're gonna do. Okay, we're struggling with money. Guess what? We're just gonna work more. That's all we're gonna do. And if it gets to the point where I can't see Malia and hang out with Malia for a month and a half just because we have to get something to work, but that's what you got to do. Otherwise, you will crumble and you will fail because progress at a high level, at a high rate, will fucking knock you the fuck down.
But I think as well, like if like you just communicate about it.
No, I know.
No, but like if let's just say for example, like if you said that to someone else, like, oh, what the fuck, you're not going to hang out with me.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you have to be understanding of what both people are doing and what you're both going to do as well.
Yeah.
Like if we had a fucking team.
Everyone needs to know.
Yeah, everyone needs to know. If you had a team, everyone needs to know what's going on. Imagine you rock up to like work and like you're like, oh, this went wrong for the past like month. You're like, what the fuck? I had no idea. And they're telling you what to fucking do.
Yeah, it's like you need to like, I don't know, but it's like, that's what I mean. Like if the bigger you set your goals, the more shit's going to happen. And it's not shit that's going to happen to stop you. It's almost life just testing you, seeing, are you worthy of going to the next level?
Or what do you want this?
Yeah, how bad do you actually want this? Because like, and it's just like, I guarantee it's not going to get any easier.
But if you just look at it in that way, like the world is just testing you,
yeah.
Whatever it is just testing you to see if you want it. And if you can get out the other side of it, then
that's where your progress is made.
And then more things are going to flow because it's like, oh, like you actually wanted this. So now it's like things are going to be easier for you now because you chose to go through something that was harder instead of sitting back and actually making it way harder for you to just sit there because you didn't choose to move forward. So now the universe is like, okay, you don't want it anymore. We don't move on to the next person.
Well, you're just going to stay the same now.
Yeah.
You're not going to move.
We'll stay the same. We'll move on to the next person who actually wanted it.
Yeah.
We'll make their dreams better.
Yeah, well, and it's just like at the start when you're starting off something, whether it is business, whether it is anything, you're going to fail over and over and over again at the dumbest shit. And then the more you do it, the less you will fail. Same with videography with us. We fucked up all the time when we started. Now, it's not often that we'll fuck up something very simple because we've done it for so long. You learn that through failing. You learn like, okay, I'm not going to fuck up the exposure or do the exposure like this on this one or put the shutter speed down like this on this one.
Because I know if I film in this setting, if I make it too dark, it's not going to look as good. Or if
yeah,
it's
because it's already happened to me before.
Yeah.
So it's like you learn from your experiences. Your experiences is how you grow. Like same with, even if it applies to sport, people that play sport, right? When you say you play soccer, footy, right? You're going to learn every time you fuck up, you're going to be like, okay, I'm not going to do that. The more times you fuck up in footy, basketball, anything like that, the more times you fuck up and learn from that, the better you're going to be because then you're not going to fuck up like that again.
Or I'm not going to shoot this way again or kick the footy like this because it's going to make my kick bad or something like that.
Or it's like I need to stop being in this position all the time. I need to like say it's like someone else that's like, say you fucking play soccer, you're in the mid and you're like, okay, I'm always too far back. I'm never up front enough to get the ball. I'm never there and I'm never in the right position. What do I need to do? I need to be mindful of this when I'm playing and stop like thinking of other things. Like keep it in the back of my brain. I need to be available to get the ball. Or like say you're in footy and you're like, okay, this fucking guy or this girl or whatever keeps beating me to the ball. What do I need to do? I need to fucking pay attention to this guy. Because you keep getting the fucking ball. I'm not going to let you get the ball. You learn that because you fucked up. You're going to be like, okay, well, I'm now going to fucking hyper focus on you because you keep, it's just simple shit. But that's why progress is not linear. It never will be linear. It's never going to work like how you want it to. And it's even with the gym. So you're trying to cut weight. It's not going to work how you want it to. It's going to be hard. Shit's going to happen. Where it's going to be like sometimes you feel fucked. Sometimes you feel like you got no energy. But that's where the progress is made, where you just do what you need to do. Not sit there and be like, oh, I feel fucked today. I'm just going to chill.
Or if you're doing a prep, like you've got that's like 7-8 months of your life. You're going to tell me that nothing's going to go wrong in 7 to 8 months of
Yeah.
your life.
Exactly.
Like, it's still your life and you still have to adapt to what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what like you running a business, if you're running it for like 4 or 5 years, are you seriously going to expect nothing to fucking go wrong in 4 to 5 years?
It's going to always go wrong.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if there's nothing going wrong in your business. What if your personal life's fucked? It's how you show up. It's going to affect how you show up in your business. If your business fucks, it's going to affect how you show up in your personal life.
And talking to people.
Yeah. And
You were
talking
dying. You were literally dying there. Leah was struggling.
Have a sip of
We'll
water.
go to topic number 3, which is like, I guess like our personal, like what we struggle with most when it comes to like progression, I guess. Like we both put a lot of pressure on ourselves, both in different ways. Mine's more like to be somewhere or like make motion something. So it's like I will typically, I would say I probably work 16, sometime like 14 to 16 hours daily, including my jobs. Because theoretically, like right now, this is technically work because it's helping, like, you know, build an audience, like helping provide value for motion. So people might be like, yeah, that's not work, but it kind of is. You know, it's still work. Like, and then it's like, say if I have to edit this, that's still work. Edit my YouTube video, that's still work. I'm always working. I'm not actually not, unless, like I've discussed with you before, like those 3 hours on like the Friday, or like 4 or 5 hours maybe on the Friday and Saturday that I'll see you. Besides that, it's like, oh, like yesterday, right? Woke up, event, straight to work, straight after work, literally work from, so event, straight to work from 11 till 5, started work at another job, 6 o'clock till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, that's a Sunday. That's a full day of work. So it's like, I do that because I struggle so much with being like kind of content with where I am. Like, so I'm like pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and then I burn out. Not burn out, but I like crumble a bit sometimes. And that will affect my progress in all areas of life because I can't actually show up properly in every area of my life because I just push too hard in like only the business or only the work side, that everywhere else gets neglected. So it's like sometimes I will completely neglect my food to the point where I'm just eating fucking heat up rice and fucking cooked chicken. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'll put cheese on the top for fat because I'm like, I can't be bothered making real good, proper food. Like I would just be like, heat up rice, microwave rice, bang, done. 90 seconds. Cooked chicken from Coles, chop the cunt up, straight in there. That's my meal. Or like before I train, I'm not going to have oats anymore because it takes like 5 minutes. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Cereal, fucking protein powder, almond butter, done. Easy, quick. And it's like, that will also affect every area of my life. Because you can imagine, like, say if it's like my dad, mum asked me to do the bin or some shit, just random shit. I'm not going to do it because I'm like, no, waste of time. I don't need to do that. I need to work. So it's like, it actually affects even my relationship with Leah sometimes, where it's like, she'll be like, oh, let's go do something. I'm like, no, we're wasting time. No, remember, like, say something, sometimes when we go out for a walk or something, and we're just like chilling in your house, and say I'm talking to you and Linnell,
Yeah.
in the back of my mind, the whole time, I'm like, I'm fucking wasting time. I'm wasting time. I'm wasting, because I can't be present. I really, really, really struggle to be present. And some people look at that and be like, damn, that's a flex. That is not a flex, bro. Like, it is not. Like, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't take my anxiety away because I like the way I work and I like my life, but it does affect other people. You know what I mean? It can affect Malia sometimes when I'm like, you know, like we'll be hanging out. I'm like, fuck, we're just wasting time. And then she'll feel like shit because she's like, well, I'm your girlfriend and you're telling me you're wasting time with me. But it's not actually me being like personal to her. It's just like my own like thoughts and anxieties are like going against me. Like telling me like, you don't deserve to hang out with your girlfriend. It's not me being like, I don't want to hang out with my girlfriend. I want to, but I can't be present with it sometimes. If I hang out with you too much, it will fuck my brain up. I'll be like, I'm not working enough. This is why I won't be successful. This is why I'm not going to work. This is why motion won't work. And it fucks me up big time. So that's a big thing in my life that affects my progress in other areas other than just business, work, gym. Because it will affect Malia, it will affect like family shit. I don't eat out with my family. I don't really hang out with my family a whole lot because of that.
Like what's quick and easy so you can just get it done.
And get back to work.
Yeah.
And do what I need to do. And it's like, sometimes I'll come over to Malia's house and I'm so fucking tired from working that like, I'll just go to bed, bro. Or something. Like we'll just make food and go to bed. And it's like, that will affect my relationship with Malia because I'm like, just business. And it's like, I almost tie feeling shit towards being productive. I'm like, if I wake up tired as fuck, I'm like, yes, cunt. That means I pushed my limit yesterday. That means I redlined yesterday. That's good. So I work till 1 a.m. to redline on purpose. So then I wake up the next day and I feel like drowsy. I'm like, fuck yeah. Today's a day where I need to have like a gram of caffeine because I can't function without it. Like
That's
that.
fucked.
Yeah, that's, see, Malia's like, holy shit. But that's literally what goes through my brain. If I feel good, if I have 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep is 8 hours I wasted. That's sometimes what I look at it. Like, that's how bad it is. And it affects everything. It affects how I progress in the gym. It affects how my running is. Because I'm also training for a half marathon and I train 5 days a week in the gym. I'll be in the gym. I called Malia today. I'm like, fuck yeah, I did my gym session in 50 minutes. Like, I'm really locked in. Remember I called you today? I'm like, yeah, I smashed it out. I got it quick.
No.
I called you on the way back from the gym. Remember? Oh, well, I said it. I said to her as I was driving there as well. I was like, oh my God, it's fucking 9 o'clock, man. I'm only going to the gym at 9 o'clock now. Keep in mind, I worked almost 14 to 16 hours yesterday.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you went to bed at 1. I'm like, going to gym at 9 is not bad, but in your brain, it's like you're wasting the day.
Yeah, because I'm like, everyone else is up at 6. I need to be up at 6. So it's like, that affects me everywhere else because I'm like, no. And some people don't believe it, man. People like, there's just no way you do it. And it's not because I'm trying to act like some fucking hero. It's just like, it's a problem. It's not good. But it's also a problem I don't want to leave because I'm scared it goes away because I'm like, if this goes away, what will drive me? I'm fueled by fear. I am fucking scared of not being able to do this for the rest of my life because there's nothing else I would do. And it's like, and then you got your issues with sleep and shit as well because you stress about something else. You know?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. The mic's on you now. I've had my little tangent.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like mine's has been like completely different, but like similar in a way where it kind of just like affects the other person, I would say.
Well,
But,
both of us affect each
yeah.
other. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the issue. And it's like we're trying to progress in like, you know, you're trying to progress in health. I'm trying to progress in business that affects me and it affects you in different ways because like you can explain it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like I was like, fuck yeah, I'm getting somewhere. And then I'm like, cool, let's push it. And then
Explain what it is so people understand it. Like what it is you struggle with.
Yeah. So basically just trying to figure out my health and stuff like that. So I don't really know if I should really explain it because I kind of explained it a lot.
No, do it.
Like,
people might be new. Period.
Okay. So yeah, basically like I struggled with my period for like 3 to 4 years. So really struggling to just trying to find that balance of like making sure I'm like looking after my health and looking after myself so then I can actually show up in how I want to show up as well. So like, yeah, like I really felt like for 6 months I was getting somewhere and my sleep was really good. And I was like, cool, I've got so much energy now. What can I put my energy into? So like with the energy I have, I'm like putting in so much effort into what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden I'm starting to stress myself out again. I'm doing all these things that stress me out and I'm like neglecting myself. I'm like pushing myself to the side. I'm like, no, don't worry about regulating. You don't need to do that stuff anymore. But then like I realize like when it comes to like my cycle and stuff, like it really shows in my cycle because it's like, okay, now my cycles are very heavy. They're very late and they're very sore and I never get sore. So I'm like, cool, like my body's trying to tell me to slow down. But then now when I try and slow down, my brain is like, you're not doing enough. Or my brain is like, what's the point of even doing this? Like, it's not going to get you anywhere. So then I'm telling myself this story. And then whenever I try and relax, it's like my body doesn't want to. It's like thinking and my mind's racing about everything I need to get done. I'm letting people down. I need to do this and to do that. And yeah, sometimes it really gets me and I sleep like 4 or 5 hours a night. And then I beat myself up for sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night. And it's kind of like this cycle that I'm like trapped in. So trying to learn to slow down again is very, very hard. Like in the mornings, I can't even go for a walk anymore without being stressed or anxious because I'm like, there's no point in doing this because I'm just going to wake up tomorrow and feel the same. So every time I wake up and I try and go for a walk, try to be present, I'm like forcing myself to be present. I'm forcing myself to be present because I'm like, if I do this first, then I'll feel good. If I do meditation, I'll feel good. So I'm like putting so much pressure on myself to basically control how I feel. And then I'm like still pushing my emotions away because I don't like how I feel in this moment. But then this pattern, not sleeping, doing all these things, I'm basically stuck in this pattern of not sleeping well, and I wake up and I literally hate how I feel. And I've never ever felt like this before. I've never ever felt like so shit. And like even like this is probably how I've felt at the very start of like my healing journey. So doing all this progress and knowing how good you feel with sleep and all this stuff, to feel how you felt at the start is very discouraging, and it feels like, fuck, like why am I back here? And then you're trying to do all these things to basically fix yourself, and you're just stuck in like trying to fix it. Why am I here? Trying to fix it. Why am I here? And it's like this big cycle that like I'm repeating. So progress right now feels like very like, yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm making any, but like some days I might sleep a little bit more, or like, you know, I took some time to myself and I wasn't anxious. So it's like trying to remind myself every day to be like grateful for something and stop trying to hate myself into getting somewhere. And that affects how I show up in the business because I'm tired, I'm not sleeping well, affects my training. I'm training like probably like 3 days a week, but like it's very, very poor. Like it's not like I'm training, I'm feeling refreshed. I'm training, my body hurts, and that shouldn't be happening. And then I can't even think properly during the day because I'm like, my brain is just so tired. So when I go and meditate, I'm like literally falling asleep because I'm so tired. So it really affects like how I show up in the business, I guess, because I'm putting so much pressure on myself to, you know, do all these things. I'm like, I need to keep up, I need to do all these things. And then I end up crashing and burning because I'm like, I don't deserve to rest because my body, like, I feel like my body is resting, but it's not actually, because it's like so stressed. It's like, we need to actually fucking slow down. And I'm like, we don't, but I need to like learn to listen to my body.
But it's like when you do slow down, you don't let it slow down.
Yeah.
Because like you'll slow down, and like she said, when she's slowing, it's the same. It's pretty similar to me, but it's yours is about health. Like, say if I try to slow down, it doesn't work. I'm like, nah, work. You're doing nothing. This is fucking pointless. And it's the same with you. If you're like trying to slow down, you're like, am I getting better? Am I reset? Am I done? Am I good?
Yeah.
Can I go? Can I go again? Do I have energy again? So it's like, when you try to slow down, you're not slowing down. And it's like,
I'm just like kind of beating myself up.
And that's what I mean about like, I don't know, progress in that. It's like, so her going through all this shit, you'll be making progress, invisible progress, but you're understanding the why to everything.
Yeah.
Whereas like a year ago when this was happening, you're like, why do I have no energy? I don't know why. But now you know why.
Yeah.
But then it's like you're going the other way where you're like trying to control everything to have energy. But then you know now, I can't over control everything. It's not going to work. So it's like you're almost working back to then go forward. So it's like, it's fucking stupid. Everyone says it, like 2 steps back, 1 step forward. Like it's what every cunt says, but it kind of is how progress
even
is.
before, like it was just like, oh, I'll just let things happen. But now I'm like, I know why I feel this way, and I know I need to fix it. But it's like, yeah, like you said, the control.
And it's the same with me. It's like, I'll be like with Malia. I'm like, when it first started happening to me, it's like it put me into depression. I started getting like depressed because I'm like, I'm not doing enough. Like I start stressing. My heart rate goes to like 180. And I start like panicking. Whereas now it does that, but it's like, I know in my brain, I'm like, I know what this is. Like, I know this feeling. Like, this isn't foreign to me. I know what this feeling is like. And this feeling isn't going to affect my progress because I'm not going to sit here and like hell dwell on it and be like hell fucked and start like panicking and shit. It does panic me, but it's not like it used to. I used to like start shaking and shit if I wasn't like doing something. But now it's like, I can hang out with Malia, I can go do something, and it's like it's just in the back of my mind. It's not actually like at the forefront where I'm like, I can't even really like hang out with you because I'm like, what the fuck. Whereas like, and that's what progress will look like in someone's life in any regard. Like it's like slowly your personal progress, like you learning about yourself and how you work and how you function as a human. That's what it will be like. And it's like, it's just slowly like understanding like your thoughts and emotions and how to channel them, and understanding like, why do I feel like this? You know, like, why do I feel like, say if you're insecure, like, why do I feel insecure? Then you learn like why, and then you'll probably still get hints of that insecurity of like it coming through again, but you're like, oh, I know why I feel insecure. It's because like, say I've like been so off track with diet or so off track with gym. So like, I feel like a piece of shit. That's why I feel like bad in myself or something, you know? You'll usually learn like why that you feel that way. And it's the same with business. Like when you're failing, you'll understand like why you failed, and then you learn from it, and then you don't do that again. But it just takes time with everything. I guess I wanted to bring the personal aspect in because it's like, not like you said, not only do you like fail and screw up in business, but you screw up and fail like
In your personal
with your
life as
own
well.
life and just you, like you'll fail yourself. And it's like, that's what it's like when you're trying to progress. If you want to do big shit, you want to do big things, like that's what it's going to be like. Like last year, this time last year is a whole different person. I'm not even anywhere near the same person, but that's because I went through all the stuff I went through. If you don't go through that, you're not learning enough. Like, I think people think that, again, back to the thing, people think failure is bad. But like, I failed so much last year that I learned so much. That's why I'm different.
Yeah.
And progress is like in the invisible steps. Progress is like an invisible ladder that you see. It's like the hardest thing ever is waking up every single fucking day, putting 100% in, and then waking up the next day and you're in the same fucking position.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? And you do that for a week, still in the same position. You go to the gym, you go ham out fucking a whole week and you still look the fucking exact same.
Yeah.
Do it for 2 weeks, still look the exact same. 3 weeks, still look pretty much the exact same. And then after like maybe like 4, 5, 6, then you'll be like, oh, I see a little bit. But that's the hardest thing in life, is putting 100% into every single day and still being in the same fucking position the next day. And then getting up again and doing the same fucking thing. Day after day after day, week after week, month after month. That is where progress is. It's in the invisible steps. You don't see it. It doesn't happen. And some days you'll wake up, go to put 100% in, and it'll feel like you just went backwards.
Yeah.
You feel like everything just went against you and you went backwards. But you didn't. You went forwards because you learned.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it applies to everything in your personal life, in business life, in any sort of physical, mental battle you're going through. It's the same thing. You'll feel like you're like, I'm going backwards, I'm going backwards, I'm going backwards, but you're not. You're learning about like why you are the way you are. And then that won't happen again because you'll learn why.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh my God, in the future, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm stressing, I'm not asleep. Oh, it's because I'm trying to control too much.
Yeah.
I've dealt with this before. I know what to do. I just need to fucking let go.
Yeah.
Because last time I tried to over control it, look what happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So you learn from shit. And if you don't learn from shit, that's when you stay in the same place. You know, if you refuse to learn from shit or you run away from that stuff.
Yeah.
If you run away from like bad scenarios or bad fucking like failures and stuff, that's when you stay in the same place. That's when you stay who you are in a job that you don't like if you don't like your job.
Yeah.
Like me, if I hated my trade like I did, if I didn't do anything about it and get out, well, guess where I'd be right now?
Still doing a trade.
Being a roof, pulling a cable through a roof, literally being like, what the fuck am I doing? I have no passion behind this. I hate this. This is horrible. This is not what I want to do. That's exactly what I would do. And it's like, people might like that trade, but that's good. That's fine. But it's like, I fucking hated it, bro. I went to every day. It was even on a Friday. I'd finish work on a Friday and I'd be like, I fucking hate this. And I would still feel shit because I knew that I had to go to work on Monday.
Yeah. So you're like living for the weekend.
Not even. It was that bad that I didn't even have a weekend because I knew that I'd have work on the Monday.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't even deserve the weekend because guess what? You got to go back to work on the Monday. So I wouldn't even escape on the weekend anymore. I was that aware of it that I just was like, yep, you're going to have to go back to work on Monday. I'd have like, I remember the Christmas holidays, the first time I had 12 weeks off or something. No, 12 weeks, 12 days. Fucking 12 weeks. Fucking Jesus, 3 months. 12 days. And I remember I finished and I still thought about it. I was like, I still have to go back there. And the whole holidays, it's just in my head. I'm like, nah, I need to go back there. I need to go back there. But me not doing anything about it, guess what? Then you still have to go back there. So until you actually take, the risk or take the fucking step that you need to do that's scary and go into it, you're not going to make any progress in your life.
Yeah.
And that's why, progress is directly correlated to failure, setbacks, and struggles. That's where your progress is made, in the invisible steps. Hey, Marzi. No one can hear that.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
Go
on, say your words of wisdom. What else you got?
I don't know. I think we've pretty much covered everything.
What do you think about progress then?
I think you can learn from everything. Like right now I'm learning something about like my personal life. Like, okay, this is teaching me something, but like a part of me is not willing to let go of that control. And I'm like, why? And like, I'm still trying to figure out that why. And I think like with the business, it's like literally so clear, like in front of you. Usually the problem is so clear. But I think for most things, you're not going to know unless you really sit with yourself and try and figure it out yourself.
Well, sometimes business is the opposite of clear. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, when you get fucking bunch of clothes and it's all fucked up, you're like, whoa, what the fuck are we going to do?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel clear until you take action.
Yeah.
Once you take action and you've done it, you're like, actually, that was not that bad.
Process it first.
Yeah, but it's like, that's another fucking conversation, I guess, talking about like fucking all that shit. But it's been 51 minutes. Probably won't be 51 minutes. I reckon this podcast will be like 40. I think we should still go. We still got more. I reckon we got a bit more.
No, I think we've covered a lot.
You reckon?
Yeah. I mean, but everything else we talk about now is just going to be diverting into different topics, I think.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess. I think that was a good mix of me and you talking. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it's just me, just yapping. But this week
Miles,
we got
Emilia, but Miles just yaps.
Yeah, especially on the first few. Fucking hell, bro. That was bad. But yeah, we got our video campaign this week. We're launching our clothes very soon.
Oh, wait.
Not next week yet.
The week after.
The week after, yeah. So it'll be good. Life's going to be good. Life's going to challenge us, but, you know.
It always gets better.
Kind of. No, it doesn't. You just learn how to deal with it. I think that's the best thing about looking at it like that. Life doesn't really get better. You just learn how to deal with it.
But you learn how to deal with things differently.
Yeah, but I think like, you know how like everyone's like, life always gets better. It doesn't really. You just learn how to deal with what's going on.
Yeah, but that means it gets better because you deal with it differently.
I guess. But it's like, there's always going to be problems. That is life. Until you accept that, it's like, no, your life won't get better. It'll get worse, actually. Because then everything that happens to you, like, why does this happen to me? Well, mate, it's life.
I like to say, like, how is this happening for me?
Yeah, like, what is it teaching me? Yeah, that's the best
how
thing.
is this the best thing that's happened to you?
Yeah, like if you are listening to this, look back at all the bad things that's happened, you'll probably be like, fuck, that was actually pretty good. Like,
yeah, and you
say
probably will be like, that is the
breakup.
best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, like say that massive breakup that someone's probably went through in this, you're probably like, fuck, I'm glad that I'm not actually in that relationship anymore.
Because now it's just redirected you.
Yeah, but like in that time when it happens, you're like, oh fuck, I'm fucked. This is the end of my life. Like it's like, so next time you do go through like some sort of similar thing, just remember that breakup, mate, when you thought that your life was over? Well, guess what? Now you're listening to the Motion Podcast and you're still here. So it's just not over.
This is the Motion Podcast. I'm telling you that this is the best thing that's ever happened to you.
It probably is, to be honest, for most people.
It is.
Yeah.
And if you keep going back, you're just reinforcing that cycle.
Yeah, and then it just keeps happening and happening. And that's exactly what I talk about. If you don't break out of the cycle or figure out another way to work around it, the same thing will happen. If we don't keep sampling, if we don't sample, guess what?
We'll be in the same spot now.
Yeah, and it will just keep happening for every single drop. All right, do you want to end it off, Marzi?
But, yeah.
End it off.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you so much for choosing the potion.
Yeah, mate. Malia makes the weirdest noises.
Thank you so much. No, thank you so much for tuning into the Motion Podcast. I hope you learnt something today from us. And always remember that progress is never linear and that everything is going to be okay.
Cheers, bruz.